What's up everybody, how's it going? Welcome to this episode of Car Rant. Today we are reviewing the Nitto NT450 tires on the Honda Civic. Today we're in my town of Leesburg. We are driving around town, just kind of, enjoying the day out, even though it's actually 6 degrees outside, which is why I'm wearing my scarf and my heavier jackets. And for once, a flat bill so I can see something because it's really bright. But I'm also here in town to showcase how these tires handle in an everyday setting. These are priced right around the same price point as a lot of other tires that are used for passenger cars, things of that nature. They're not like, the Falcon Zennies that we had on the Evo, where they were made specifically to send it, Those were pretty much racing tires on a road car. But with that said, for passenger tires, these tires are incredibly good. I've been driving on them for the past several days and I have zero complaints. They have been holding up quite well to the multitude of different kinds of elements that we've had happen here in Virginia recently. Between the cold snap where it got really cold, 6 degrees out today, I mean, it's normally tires in those conditions don't hold on quite well. They kind of get a little rigid, they get a little stiff, they get really tight, and it causes them to lose grip. And as a result, people get into accidents even when it's dry because they're not able to stop like they normally could or things like that. And these tires, despite being frozen over this morning, no issues. These things have held on so well. The silica that's in these tires is really, I think, what we can credit their ability to hold on and grip for. I mean, forget the noises of stuff in my car. I just bought some Snapples for later. This thing is holding on super well. Even at speeds that normally some other tires might want to let go or not hang on as tightly, it's holding on well. If I were to compare these tires to another tire within this category that it's in, I think I would have to look at the Yokohama Advents that were Avid ENVigors, there we go. The Yokohama Avid ENVigors that we looked at late last year, because they feel, quite honestly, quite similarly, except that these don't have that oily silica feel like the Yokos did, but actually have this more natural rubber type sensation to them, which for me is not a complaint. If anything, it's a props. They're getting grip when it feels like there shouldn't be that much grip available to it. Another thing I would love to point out too is the fact that I'm able to get really good braking distance out of these tires. One thing that is a very common misconception about buying tires is that they do in fact affect things like your braking distance. As you're slowing down, your tires are what needs to be able to hold on for you to stop. Otherwise, you could lock your tires up and just slide straight across pavement, and that would be a very bad day for everyone involved. I mean, this is a Honda. It's not like some crazy fast sports car or whatever, but in a car that pretty much has only ABS and no other kind of assists, for it to be able to slow down much sooner than normal and safely, that speaks a lot. I mean, yeah, I've got some Duralast Max brakes on here, but like we've already stated, sometimes just changing out your tire compound can be what saves you from a fatal accident. And they've already proven that more than once. I mean, when I went into Fairfax a few weeks ago, not a few weeks ago, earlier this week, it saved my bacon big time. There were a few times where I'm like, okay, this is getting a little scary, coming up on a light and it suddenly changes to red, or people just pulling out at random when they shouldn't be. Even today, as I've been driving around getting ready to go pay for my taxes at the local government center here, there have been moments where it's like, oh God, can I stop or can I launch fast enough because this person appeared out of nowhere, and it's been able to do it, which is incredible in a car that's as underpowered as a Honda Civic. I gotta say too, these tires are comfortable. Some people, they get into a more performance oriented tire and it either feels like you're riding on a brick or you feel a lot of everything. Meaning like any little road bump or any little imperfection in the pavement, a manhole cover, some bricks instead of normal road, stuff like that, you would feel it a lot. That was one thing with the Yokohama tires that I have on the car, on my Evo right now, that I kind of have to complain about now, having driven it even more than I had at that point in time, was that it could sometimes feel really, really rough, because it translates a lot of what's on the ground for you as a driver. And sometimes that's really helpful, but when you're daily driving something, that's not useful. That's just a lot of wear and tear on you as a driver that you just don't need. All in all, I do like these tires a lot. These tires are great upgrades for this car. When I first got this car, it had Michelin's on it, which, if any of you guys know anything about Michelin, they're known for being a very good tire, even at their more affordable price points. They're known for being grippy. I mean, they even had a slogan for a long time where our tires will keep you safe in any given road condition. I know I can't be the only one that remembers that, but I remember that being like a very big thing that stuck out to me, like, huh, they're like really adamant that their tires are safe. And I slapped these on. These are about $100 to $125 a tire, depending on where you buy it from. And I've had zero complaints, and I bought 5 of them because I needed a spare. Having new sets of wheels on the car that are a different size than the stock ones, I needed a spare. So I bought 5, and I still spent maybe $500 something on all the tires. So it's roughly about $100 a tire. And they were outdoing the Michelins that I had on here. Now, I will admit, the Michelins were older. They had some wear and tear, but they had a lot of life left in them. And once you got past the kind of dried out a little bit rough, I'm needing to turn left here. Once you got past some of that dried out older tire that was on the surface, you got to some of the newer, fresher compound underneath. It still did not compare. It paled in comparison, actually, to these Nitto NT450s. The compound feels amazing. I mean, it's just, there's nothing I can really say about these things more than what I've already said to either convince you of them or prove to you that they are worth the investment. I know that Nitto as a brand, they've kind of got a mixed history of being both a good performance tire or being a very show car tire. You know, our 888s are a great example of this. Some people use it for performance and it works, and some people use it for show stuff and it also works because they're not exactly cheap tires. But for me, these NT450s, they fit the bill perfectly. They're quiet, they increase my, or not increase my braking distance, but decrease my braking distance and increase my ability to get grip in places that I normally would not be able to, especially in a car like this Honda Civic CX, which doesn't even come with things like sway bars. It's a very basic chassis. So for it to be able to give my car a level of performance that I'm like, yeah, I could definitely see myself just going on a back road, like say Dry Mill Road in the Purcellville and Hamilton area, being able to hit a road like that confidently at pretty good speeds and not feel, you know, unsafe or worried that I might, you know, slide off the track. It speaks a lot. It speaks a lot to the quality of the tire, because that is a very dips and turns kind of road. It's what we would call a or in my world we call it a jaunt. You go out there for a jaunt, you just send it. You just drive aggressively, you push the car, you just see what it's got, see what it's capable of. A good testing ground for suspension and tires and brakes. And in my book, this car with these tires passed with flying colors. No issues, no struggles. Like, I actually, for a little while, was a little nervous to drive because of how old the old Michelins were and how not grippy they were. That when I got in this, I'm like, I don't want to stop driving. And here I am now. I've drained about 3 tanks of gas and this car gets about 400 miles to the gallon. So putting these tires on this car has rejuvenated my love for the car, but also my just confidence in it, being able to drive it and know that it's going to take care of me. Just to prove the point, I've already gone through about a tank and a half in this car, and a tank and a half in this car is pretty much equivalent to about I'd say 500-ish miles. Yeah, I like these tires a lot. I would compare them to the Yokohamas, and I would say that the Yokohamas, they're not quite on par. On a scale of 10, if we're looking at budget options, if the Yokohama Avid ENVigors, which were a tire that we have compared on this channel, if you want to see that review, it's in the corner. If I were to compare these to those, because they are very similarly priced and everything else, I would say that these tires are a 7.5 and the Yokohamas are a 6.757, because they're very close, they're very similar, but you're getting more for your money, I feel, out of these NT450s than you are out of the Avid ENVigor tires that I have on my Evo right now. And that should say a lot, because the Evo has probably, or will have, a good quadruple the amount of horsepower this one does. So all of that said, I hope you guys find this review helpful and insightful. If you've ever used these tires, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm very curious. I would love to know what your experiences have been. I've used this in all kinds of weather now, and with that said, I feel very safe and secure with these tires, and I'm just curious to see what everyone else's experiences have been with these tires. And with all that said, thank you all for watching. Like and sub if you haven't already. We have a lot of things in store for this Honda and the return of the Evo. It's coming soon, guys. I'm so excited. Gonna be able to go there for the dyno day, if I remember correctly, and be able to film that. So if you're interested in catching up with us and seeing what we're about, please do consider subscribing. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. God bless you guys, and peace.